They either need to stop talking about them or do something about it.
The way I would approach it is, I'd probably reckon the first chance I got.
But any data you're actually copying or reproducing or disseminating officially, big no-no.
Adam Andretti.
Adam Andretti is
Not
a
that
dog.
guy.
California's Kevin Harvick does it.
Welcome to Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour, presented by NASCAR Fox. I'm Kevin Harvick. She's Kaitlyn Vincie, and I think you're Mamba Smith.
I'm ready to talk some racing.
You are?
Yeah.
Well, it's about time.
Yeah.
Some NASCAR racing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So hey, let's do it.
Hey, he's got the beard again. He looks more like himself.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to agree with her on this one. I think that I'm going to get comfortable.
Yeah, you've had a long day.
Yeah.
Get settled in.
I think it's better with the beard.
Yeah,
There
it's as
Yeah.
in like my face.
Yeah.
It's
You're kind of an
It's
it.
more Mamba.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
more
I mean, look,
you.
man, I can't come into the new season with old energy, so I got to switch it up.
So when
Oh,
you
this
shave,
is your
it's
new-
new energy.
Yeah,
New
because new
energy.
hairs, it's new everything.
So we're
New beard, new me.
3
apparently.
weeks in, and now you're old energy.
No, now I'm back to normal energy.
Normal energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can call it OG energy if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I
Well, we
gotcha.
were just paying you a compliment. That's all. Just
Oh,
giving you a
wow.
compliment.
Yeah.
At the top
Honestly,
of the show.
But if you don't want to take the
No,
compliment,
I'll take
you can
it.
go fly a kite.
No, I'll take it. My mom will appreciate it because
Okay.
I don't get very many compliments between the two people in this chair and then Tyler in the studio.
That's not true.
you know?
Yeah.
He's the
Well,
one that's
after
a
you
hard
guys rolled me
sell.
under the bus last week for going pee.
First of all, that's not our fault. You went and the cameras were rolling. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
It's called
That was pretty
content, Kevin.
funny.
Content.
Content. It's for the socials.
Yeah.
Welcome in, everybody, to another edition of Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, our new page, wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us where?
Harvick Happy Pod.
He
Let's
nailed it.
go. You guys
Good
know
job.
the deal.
Job,
Closers. Love you.
He's got that wisdom in his beard.
Yeah, do you
It's
see
a-
that?
yes,
A little
it's
bit
a-
over here.
His memory's
Elder
back.
statesman
Yeah.
beard.
Memory's back.
Yeah, man. All of it comes back.
We have plenty to talk about after a very eventful Atlanta race at Echo Park Speedway. We'll recap that. There's a new lawsuit, guys. It only took a few weeks, and we already have another lawsuit to talk about. We'll discuss all the Joe Gibbs Racing news and preview COTA. And you got some sips.
We got
that
some
I'm very
good
excited
sips.
about.
We got some
One
good
of them
sips.
is a little cringe.
I feel bad for my one guy because I
Eesh.
feel his
No
pain.
bueno. Yeah.
And he
Not
literally,
good.
this person literally sent that to me. Like he
Oh, I
he
was wondering
tagged
how
me
you got
in the
that.
video.
The
That's
guy
And
who's
funny.
injured.
Yeah, so I had to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we'll see it in a little bit.
Yeah, we got an injury on the show today. Not great.
It's okay. You have that.
You'll have that. All right, let's do Kevin's word. Right?
Oh, we're getting right. We're getting right into it. Kevin.
No, you need to lead this off correctly. And
Yeah,
you're
I am.
not having confidence in me. So
Yeah,
go
no,
ahead.
I was. Nobody thought that you were gonna get this word and land the plane correctly. And when I say nobody, I mean our entire team.
I never said that. I said I didn't know what it meant.
So I
I had to
didn't
look it
either.
up.
we all had to look it up
Yeah.
because our producer is the one who gave it to us, and he's the youngest one on the team. So that you'll have that.
Oh, so
But-
he was against me too.
Everybody was against you, Kev.
Okay.
But you did a great job. Let's run the tape.
You talk about Hocevar and having the problems early in the race, but man, he's had a great start to the season, whether it's been the qualifying races or Bowman Gray. This race right here, he's run great, and I think that puts a lot of pressure on his teammates, Michael McDowell and Daniel Suarez, because he's kind of mogged everybody as far as the performance that he's had throughout the season so far.
You know how I know it was perfect? Because even NASCAR Social grabbed it and put it on mid-broadcast.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Uh-huh.
You said it very early on too. That's nice. Get it out
I
of the
knew
way.
how I wanted to use it this week. I had practiced. I'm not
was
messing
preempted.
these up this year.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I believe
Yeah.
that.
Challenge
You're 3.
accepted.
He's on
No,
it.
no. I don't think you can stump me.
What does the word mean for people who may not know?
Well, it's a gym slang word for basically the coolest guy in the gym.
Okay.
Oh. I didn't know
Best
the
looking
gym
guy in the
part.
gym.
Chiseled.
Yeah, it's like the best looking guy on this set.
Yeah, Kaitlyn, who
We have
is
the
that?
best looking gal, but we have best. There's only 2 choices for the guys here.
I'm not answering
Yeah, so-
questions. I already get people mad at each
Okay.
other.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did good.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. No, he did do good. And I was seriously, I was like, I don't know this word, so I don't think Kevin's gonna figure out how to use it correctly. And
It was pretty easy,
the
actually.
word was easy, but like how you were gonna get it in there.
Yeah, well, I
seemingly.
did study a little bit. I used the little AI thing, and
The chat GPT.
Yeah.
Is it,
I had examples, and I had 2 drivers that I was going to use it for.
Oh, you had
who
it
was
locked
the other
in.
one?
Ross Chastain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it works for both.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
I see what you're doing there. You're
Yeah.
really like storytelling.
Ross doesn't want to be mugged.
No.
by Connor Zilic.
No.
Yeah.
Because he already got it by SVG
Mogged.
last year.
Yeah.
So he can't let the kid do it.
Yeah,
to
when
him.
the
wants to be
example of how to
mocked.
say the word was dogged, I'm like, I got this.
That's
This
true.
shit's
The
easy.
pronunciation
Yeah.
was simple at
Yeah.
least, because some of the pronunciations are a little dicey.
Yeah. Well, and without our encyclopedia, Kaitlyn, to explain how to say words and what they mean.
He
And
doesn't
now-
need me anymore.
Now
he has
they just
ChatGPT.
happen. Now they just happen on the air. You notice Mike and Clint are totally clueless.
Literally, they don't even react.
so they think
have-
you're smarter.
They don't even react because it's just smooth.
Yeah, it's just smooth
Locked in,
operator
yeah.
over there.
Locked in.
Well, good job. Okay,
Thanks.
so
Well done.
Atlanta, as I referenced at the top of the show, great racing across all 3 series. I felt like this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
all of us were there. How was your weekend overall in Atlanta?
My weekend was pretty slow, but
Yeah.
I'm coming off of Daytona where I did everything under the sun, and it rained out qualifying for the Cup cars. So I sat in the production truck.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I watched the truck
That's
race
sweet.
and everything in the production truck. So pure
you-
chaos,
Yeah,
pure chaos in the truck. Have you sat in a truck before and watched a race?
I haven't.
it's pretty fascinating.
Yeah, it's pretty
on my
fascinating.
list,
We need a
actually.
camera in
yeah,
there.
it's way harder to get it from the trailer to your TV than you think it is.
Yeah, people have no idea.
No idea.
Our people are very good at making it seamless.
They do a
Yeah.
great job.
So you were there too?
I showed up Sunday last minute. Rode down. That was a long ride.
I
from
rode
Charlotte
too.
to Atlanta. 4 hours is no joke.
Honestly, though, by the time you budget in going to the airport and messing with all that, you might
No.
as well just drive.
No.
That's
Fly.
my feeling.
Yeah, no, I'll fly anytime.
Oh, well.
Really?
We
Yeah.
differ on that, I
I like
guess.
flying.
I like
I
the
flew.
solitude of a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
It was cold outside though. The solitude. You like
Oh
just
my God.
being in your own.
Pre-race was an absolute
The wind
Freezing.
was
Freezing.
whipping. So
Yes.
honestly, shout out to all the fans because first of all, the crowd was
Good.
packed. It was a really full house, and then you guys stayed all night, like into the
Mm-hmm.
night, and it did not get above like what 50 degrees. It
I
felt
don't
like
know. It felt like
Yeah.
it was 20
it was bad.
with the way that the wind was blowing.
Oh.
And I think the eye opener for me before the race was how hard the wind was blowing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But also we had Joey Logano on. How concerned the chatter was about the wind with
Yeah.
the way that it was blowing.
Yeah.
Tailwind down the back straightaway, and those cars always get tied into turn 3.
Yep.
Right there, so you have to be aware of where you're at,
Mm-hmm.
and so the tailwind along with the wind pushing against the left side of the car, all the drivers were pretty concerned.
The crew chiefs were too, because I talked to Gustafson, Alan Gustafson of the 9 and Mike Kelly of the 47. I'm like, how are you guys going to adjust for that? Because if it's not really the car,
Mm-hmm.
but your driver is complaining about XYZ, they're like, you can't, and he's just going to have to deal with it because if I adjust for it, then he's going to be really out to
Mm-hmm.
lunch. So
And
it
there's
was
a lot that you just have to deal with there because the cars are just up on top of the racetrack. They're never comfortable. It's by far the most uncomfortable as a driver they'll be all year.
Yeah.
Because of just the way that the car feels there. And it's when you add that wind in there, and we'll get to some of the clips, and you're going to see cars just spin out, which is happened without the wind. And
Yep.
it's just part of what happens at Atlanta in today's new world and Echo Park Speedway.
Echo Park Speedway.
Yeah.
Before the wind came, the rain came because I was doing the truck race on pit road, torrential downpour, but we were able to get that race in.
Yeah.
And the one thing I want to mention really quickly about that series, I feel a different energy in that garage this year. And I've covered trucks for the last 13 years. And I even asked a lot of the competitors about this. And they were like, this is one of the most stacked fields we've had in some time with fully funded rides, really competitive guys. Like they just feel like that series has been elevated a little bit this season.
I want to give them some credit too because the drop of the green, they were out of control. And when the checkered flag flew, they were still out of control.
Adam Andretti.
Adam
What
Andretti is
about
a
that
dog.
guy? I know.
I was like,
He was hanging up for dear life.
and he did. Like we've had other people come through that have some experience in stock cars and stuff like that, and couldn't do that. Like brother,
Even
You're
in
a dog.
qualifying, I was like, wow, all right.
he's getting after
He was
it.
hanging on.
Yeah,
And he wound up with a decent finish.
yeah, like
Yeah.
12th, I think.
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
11th.
good for
Pretty
Kyle
good.
Busch. Got win number 64.
Yeah,
there in
and kudos to
trucks.
NASCAR too
Yep.
for getting that race in. As I was,
Agreed.
they used the sunset rule, which makes it a definitive end to the race at a specific time if they clarify it before the race.
Yep.
So 420 was the end of the race, and basically what happened at 420 was they wound up running 2 laps and 1 lap, and then they got the white flag,
Yep.
then the checkered flag to end the race at a specific time because we were out of time.
Yeah.
The O'Reilly race was going to start, and so they had to end at a specific time. So it actually only wound up losing 10 laps, but everybody knew that this is when the race is going to end. So it added a little different level of intrigue to it, just because of the fact that you didn't know when the cautions were kind of going to come out. So it kept everybody wanting to keep themselves positioned towards the front, which they were already doing anyway, but it just became that much more important.
Yeah, I want to shout out to NASCAR from the that side, the comp director side, because they made that comes from that situation, right? The ops people, they did their job on that. But then also in the race, there was a couple spins that they didn't throw a caution for because the driver collected it up in really quick time.
I thought they were on it.
Like you can see it. We talked about it a little bit last week, but you can kind of see the change in philosophy, and I think it's standard now.
Well,
keep it.
The thing that we have always talked about on here, and I've been pretty critical of NASCAR, been consistently inconsistent, right? Just all over the place with their calls. Now we're a couple weeks into this and multiple races, and we've been consistent. Whether it's right or wrong, it's consistent, and we're not adapting to, well, it's this car spun or that car spun, or we need a caution, we don't need a caution. It's like, oh, that guy spun out, he didn't hit anything. Keep it going. And, that's the most important thing, is keep it consistent, and they're doing a good job so far.
Yes, definitely has been a refreshing change in that department. So the Cup race, let's move on to the big event there. Once again, we kind of see how this racetrack is demonstrative of how the attrition battle can face.
Back to back.
You were going to do that.
Demonstrative and attrition.
Basically, this racetrack demonstrates that you got to overcome attrition, and nobody did that better than our eventual race winner, Tyler Reddick.
Did it take you longer to think of that word or do your hair? I'm just curious. Did you search?
I wrote that word as I was typing the notes. Did you come up with that word? Yeah, instantly.
Instantly.
It's right there. As I was typing it out, I was like, this is what the word I want to use here. My hair takes way longer.
Yeah.
I'm way better at vocabulary.
Prep for the show. What was your question?
What was the question?
Sorry.
I was saying that a lot of teams had to overcome attrition through this race, and no one did it better than our eventual race winner, Tyler Reddick.
No, he had no fender at the end and wound up winning the race, and his car would look like it was actually faster than what it was early in the race. But when you come to Atlanta, you know that the attrition level is going to be high. You're going to have some moments that you're not comfortable. You see the block here at the end from Bubba. He went to block and he got too high. And when you're racing Hocevar, he's going to go where you're not. We saw this throughout the night, but Bubba threw the big block right there and ultimately gave up the middle lane and put him on the outside. And then he wound up fending for his life. And his pusher wound up becoming the leader, Tyler Reddick right here, who in the end had a pretty solid partner behind him, and we heard Chase Briscoe talk afterwards that he just didn't have a car that he felt like had enough speed to really make that big pass or make a run at the end. And you see all those cars up the racetrack right there, tight, SVG getting tight right there, going into turn 3. But what a start to the season for 2311 in general, and Tyler Reddick winning the first 2 races with a historic moment. And
yeah,
it was big.
First driver to win the first 2 races since Matt Kenseth did it in 2009. 6th in history as well. That's pretty awesome.
It's a little different now because it's 2 speedway races.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like anything can happen at either one of them now. I think what Tyler did and what that group is doing, the cars all have speed and they're all doing what they need to do. And as happy as I think it's a little weird right now over in the 2311 camp, because Bubba has been in the position to be winning just like Tyler is, and hasn't finished off in this time at Atlanta and at Echo Park Speedway. It was even closer. I understand what he was going for. I think he was trying to control the front. Like if he makes that block right there, then it's 2311 running the front row, and like they're in control. But he just went a little too far outside. But even if he stayed in that center lane, I think Carson Hocevar is going to the top. I think Carson's going, like you said, wherever Bubba wasn't going to be, and he's going to put him 3 wide. So he was in the sucker hole. Maybe looking back on it, the only thing he could have done is stayed in front of the 45 and then tried to drag race the 77. But 2311, they got it locked in right now.
You mentioned Carson Hocevar. Lap 31, he had a tire issue. At one point, he was 2 laps down. He also missed pit road the first time around when he had to pit. He was there at the end, though.
And a side window blew out.
And a window came out. They had a lot of things happen. But I guess the question I have for you is, what do you like most about what you see out of Carson?
Well, I feel like Carson is he's going to take a run. He's going to to plug a hole every chance that he gets. He's going to put you 3 wide. He's possibly going to put you 4 wide. If you open the middle up, he's going to, take a chance at, like he did right here with Christopher Bell, to fill that hole, especially when he's racing for a win. And he's not going to worry about it when he gets out. And I think that's the part where all the other drivers it kind of pisses him off. Just because, he wants to win, and he's aggressive, and he's putting, a lot of drivers in a lot of positions that they don't want to be in. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't care.
He does not.
He does not care. And I think it's fun to watch.
Look, Saturday in the truck race, he was a company man.
Right? Oh, yes.
He made sure that those 2 trucks finished 1-2, right?
Great
On
photo
Sunday,
moment at the end.
Great photo moment, the whole thing. And he said it was this. So we're watching the replays of this restart. Like, I understand why C. Bell and the 20 group are upset with the aggression, but that he's behind you. You know that you can't give him a lane, and he gave him just enough. Like, was it really there? For most people, probably not. They're like, no. But for Carson, it's like, oh, I see you opening up. He jumped the lane, and then it closed real quick. And that's just, I don't think I can really be all that mad at him, like, as a spectator watching it.
As a spectator, right? Like, you're excited.
Yeah, like, I don't think you can be mad at.
You're excited.
Right. If that's my guy, that's exactly what I want you to do. And it's 2 manufacturers in front of you that aren't your own. Like, there's a whole nother level. So he's just trying to get to the front.
If you're a competitor and you're racing against him, what do you do to show him that you're not going to do that to me?
I think we're to the point now where if they either need to stop talking about him or do something about it, and, like, don't let him bully you. Like, you're getting bullied by someone their problem is they're getting bullied by someone who they don't think should be bullying them.
Yeah.
Like, if this was Kevin Harvick doing this, or Kevin Harvick type persona guy, like, man, you just got to watch, like, Kevin's aggressive and you got to know that. But they're like, he shouldn't be here. Like, they don't have the respect for Carson Hocevar. And he doesn't care anymore because he doesn't care about getting that respect either. Yeah. So now it's like, you see me in the back bumper, you got to know.
And I think the way I would approach it is I'd probably wreck him the first chance I got.
That's kind of what I would. That's what I would do.
I would. I mean, if it was when you're trying to get in that position to be able to send a message, you have to show that aggression to send a message, and that was kind of how I would approach it in the past. I don't think he's doing anything wrong. I think he's racing aggressively, but in this deal, when you put people in bad positions over and over and over, eventually somebody's going to take that method and try to, make sure that they send that message to him that, hey, you can do that to everybody else, but don't do me. So it'll be interesting to see who does that first.
I was about to say, who would you see doing it first? Because
it's really interesting because of the Kyle Busch and Carson Hocevar situation. I mean, Kyle has been critical of Carson, and I think you could kind of tell in the interview afterward that Carson was somewhat referencing that the Kyle being critical of him, and Kyle neither one of them said it directly, but in the end, you knew what those barbs back and forth meant. So, I mean, Kyle has been critical, but I don't think, right now Kyle hasn't run with Hocevar as far as, the speed and being competitive consistently in the first 2 races. He qualified on the pole, but Hocevar was in contention all the way up in the last lap in both races. So, I don't know. There's a lot of guys that talk about it, but if you're going to take the bull by the horn and send a message, you're going to have to be the one that does it.
Someone's got to do it. I don't think they will.
So Carson Hocevar finished 4th. 2 spots down from him on the leaderboard was Mr. SVG coming into Atlanta. This was actually pretty impressive because, once again, he had to deal with multiple situations, kind of spun on his own. He got into it with Kyle Larson. We talked about SVG obviously a lot last year. Like, what would we see from him on these other style tracks now that he'd gotten some races under his belt? What did you think of his performance?
Well, and we had a question about where Trackhouse was going to be. Mm-hmm. Well,
we're learning.
We've pretty much answered that question. SVG and Ross Chastain both in the front. See right here, Shane just lost the car kind of in the middle, 3 wide. Not abnormal there. If you get in unique spots at Atlanta, it'll do that. I've done it.
And the wind coming across.
And there's it's just part of what happens here. But he battled back. He raced in the front. Connor drove to the front. At one point, Ross was consistently in the front and in contention all the way to the checkered flag as well. So. He did a great job, and I think that I've said this a number of times. His racing IQ is extremely high, And he's very mature, so he's methodical about how he learns and what he watches and the things that he does to get better. And I think that you see the improvement right here in the first 2 races. So I think that Trackhouse and SVG, Connor has run good. He hasn't had 2 good finishes, but he's ran decent.
Yeah.
He looks
Not
like he
of
knows
his
what
own
he's doing. He
doing.
doesn't look like it's too much for him.
No,
It looks like
and I
he's
think
right.
that, when you look at Ross, I'll think of it in a minute. We had some questions about where they qualified at Daytona, and he didn't run like he did at Atlanta, but at Atlanta they looked like they had their stuff together.
Yeah. The hard thing about the way the schedule is now that it's back to back like super speedway style racing.
Yeah.
But Atlanta's so different. Like it is, but you need handling. So like we're kind of in an in between. Like I'm really excited to get to Phoenix, because we still don't know where everyone's at.
Well, think about this too. I mean, a guy like William Byron, he crashed in the qualifying race.
Mm-hmm.
He crashed in the Daytona 500.
Mm-hmm.
He crashed at Atlanta. You only get 7 cars.
That's 3 speedways.
Yeah. So that's 3 cars.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now we're going to COTA, so that's 4. So
and we got Talladega.
You put yourself in. You can put yourself in a hole really quickly from just where you are with car count in the shop, workload on the team, where you're at in the points. There's a lot of different things that are building up for a number of teams. And oh, by the way, if you had 2 crappy super speedway races and you suck at road racing,
not a good start.
Not a good start.
Yeah.
Also, qualifying was rained out for the Cup Series, so some teams were already starting behind the 8 ball because of the metric, but it didn't seem to impact Chase Briscoe too much because he was still able to be there at the end, finished as the runner-up. That's a solid showing out of them.
Well, 19 car was good. 20 car was leading all the way until the end of the first green-white checker when they had the accident with Hocevar. So, I think that we expect Briscoe to do exactly what Tyler Reddick is doing, and we expect Briscoe to be as good or better than they were last year because of them being together. But I think you're seeing that maturity out of the 19 group already. They know they have the expectation to be winners. The expectation is higher than it was last year because they expect to be a championship contender. So it's going to be a fun year because I think that 19 car is strong and has been strong at the first 2 races. He had the accident at Daytona, but finished it off at Atlanta.
So keep an eye on 12 too. Like Ryan Blaney in the 12 group,
Yeah.
they made their way through the field twice because they had to start out back, and then got caught up in something, had to make it back, or he had a pit road incident and had to come back through.
penalty.
I honestly
Yeah.
felt like the best Ford was Austin Cindric.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like Blaney
solid.
wasn't as strong as Cindric. I felt like he wasn't as strong as Logano. They put themselves in a good spot track position wise, and there at the end to give themselves a chance. But he wasn't quite as strong as those 2 Fords. And I think at the beginning of the race, I'm like, man, Austin Cindric, he went from 30th all the way up to the win of the first stage. So it was they need to do that. That 2 car needs to perform more than just a couple times a year.
Yeah, he advanced 23 spots by lap 35. He was hauling. Let's talk about the Kyles for a minute. I want to start with Kyle Larson, who had a decent car, strong car, but I referenced that he came down on SVG. He said in his post-race interview, he made a mistake. Obviously, he took ownership for it. He said, I need to listen more, I guess, and not react off what I feel. And Kevin, you've discussed that this format could be, detrimental to them if they have DNFs and situations like this happening regularly.
Yeah, these are the types of moments that we have talked about with Larson, and even he himself. I mean, he talked about it afterwards. He's just got to do better, and there was really no reason to go all the way down the racetrack like that. There was nothing to really be gained in front of him, and I'm not sure what he was trying to accomplish right there. I mean, obviously he was trying to block a line, but we went back and listened on the broadcast to the spotter, and the spotter the whole time was inside. Yeah. And then it was hang on to it.
Yeah.
You guys kind of compared it to like a car being in your blind spot, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he said in his interview afterwards was he didn't really
know it was 3 wide.
He didn't really know it was 3 wide, and he never got a visual in his mirrors of the 97, but it's in your ear. Just you got to take those moments and not try to make them. You can't make every moment spectacular because sometimes it works out like that.
Yeah.
And that'll bite you in this chase format.
And we're coming to the stage, like right there. If you just take the one lane, you're door to door. If the 97 beats you, okay, it's 1 point. Like obviously we know 1 point can matter later, but I don't think it. In retrospect, guaranteed he
gave
would
up about 30 some.
Yeah, gave up a lot, and maybe a win because they were up front all day.
They were. Kyle Busch wasn't up front, but he was having a decent run, running 13th. When he got tight, he kind of had to check up. Noah Gragson was there. He kind of seemed to place the blame on Noah in his post-race interview. What did you see out of the 8s?
Well, I saw a frustrated interview out of Kyle Larson. I think that in that moment where he went up the racetrack and got tight, you'll see it at the back of the frame right here. You see him tight right there. Like he's not even trying to go into that lane. So he's off the gas with wheel into it. And Noah blips the throttle and then gets into the back bumper. But at that point, I mean, you can't really place the blame on Noah. They weren't lined up. I mean, you just jammed up into the outside lane and had a few inches in front of the bumper of the 4. I don't know how you place any, all the blame on Noah right there. I mean, obviously the 8 car spun off of the front bumper of the 4, but the 8 car also wound up in the lane that the 4 was coming at in full speed off the throttle. So, I think Kyle was just frustrated. I think it's on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
what did you see?
No, the same thing. I mean, I think Kyle, they had some decent speed. He probably felt like they had something they could compete with, at least be in the mix. And this is, again, one of those tracks that they probably have circled as a place that they can win because they've come close to it before. And then the day got shortened. And then it's somebody, again, when it's somebody you're racing with that you don't necessarily have the utmost respect for, it's like insult to injury that person is the one that got you, that like turned you around or whatever. So even though Noah didn't do anything wrong, the fact that Kyle's already frustrated, he's probably been frustrated with Noah's other things before, is like easy. It makes you an easy target. Noah, Riley, Carson Hocevar, like people go after these guys like that.
But if you're in Noah's shoes. I mean, if you lift and get tagged from behind and get spun out, you have to protect yourself a little bit too. I mean, you're 100%. The guy that slid up in front of him. If you're Noah and dump the throttle and spin out or get hit from behind, that's the risk that you take in these cars. So you got to protect yourself. I mean, you can't just I wouldn't cast any of the blame on Noah personally.
No, it was a racing deal.
Yeah.
You got tight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Kyle Busch running 13th when that happened. A driver who ended up finishing 11th on the day was Chase Elliott, actually the highest finishing Hendrick Motorsports car. But he did have a bad pit stop. Basically overshoots his pit stall, has to back up. Then he kind of runs over the hose. Ended up in a 23 seconds for the 9 team, which is something we don't typically obviously see out of this group.
And he was in the game at this point, right? Up front, and after he slid through the pit box, it took him a long time to get back to the front. He wound up somewhat in contention, but never where he was at this point. So it took them out of the conversation for the rest of the day.
Yeah, one thing that probably no one will talk about is, so when he did that, he backs up. He kind of backs up deep, but he was still in the box, and then he pulls back forward again. I don't know if he was doing it on purpose or not, but to do that didn't mess up the 12. Like Ryan was right behind him, and Ryan was kind of deep in his box. If he stays there, Ryan's hung up there too. You know what I mean? So instead of Chase being like, I'm just going to sit here, he's like, let me make sure I get myself in a position that doesn't ruin anyone else's stop. So
Not a normal mistake that we see out of Chase Elliott. Usually those guys don't make many mistakes.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
Usually they overachieve as far as the day on stuff like that, and that's usually their strong point. But it definitely hurt their chances of being in contention like they were at that particular point in the race.
Yeah.
Another team that typically we don't see make a lot of mistakes is Joey Logano, but with 22 to go, he kind of across the nose of Carson Hocevar. We're trying to figure out what all was transpiring there. The aggression level just hyping up, of course, at the end of the race. What did you see from this incident?
You got to take chances. I mean, you got to be aggressive, and you got to get in those scenarios that you can try to control things and block. And I think those guys in the Fords, Logano, Blaney, I think they had to be a little bit defensive and a little bit over aggressive to try to keep themselves in the game. And I think it bit him. I think it was very similar to the Larson deal where he came down the racetrack and he wasn't clear.
Yeah. Shortly after that was William Byron's big chain reaction pileup.
Yeah. Did we get confirmation that it was a tire? Like
he got loose.
He got loose. Okay.
He said that he got loose. It snapped. he got into the wall in the middle of 1 and 2, and then this is the aftermath of it coming down the back straightaway. It looks like it won't steer, and it's just veering down the racetrack, and ultimately
that'd be scary if you're approaching that.
Oh man.
well, and they're full speed, and he's just trying to hang on for dear life to get to pit road, and ultimately caught the door of the 2 car going down the back straightaway and caused this wreck right here. So he had a pretty good day too, as far as the speed and everything, and it just came unraveled.
Didn't come together. A lot of incidents at the tail end of this race. Wow.
Yeah.
It was caution ridden.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be aggressive. You have to be willing to crash. You have to be willing to do things that you typically don't. And we saw usually the aggressor comes out on the top in these styles of races, might cause a few crashes, like we saw with Hocevar. But those are the guys that you want driving your car in these situations that are willing to throw it all out there.
It kept getting colder and colder. The cars got faster and faster, and the wind never stopped.
Yes.
The handling. Some of them were on. I think Blaney was on like what did Larry say? It was almost like 100 laps.
A lot of laps.
Yeah, a lot of laps on 2 tires. Like,
but tires mattered.
it mattered.
Tires did
Handling
matter.
was huge.
I was a bit surprised that more of those guys didn't put tires on to try to get themselves in a better position. We saw 45.
Yep.
Priest. Couple of those cars put tires on.
One Ross,
car had fresher tires and get themselves back in a position. And so sometimes I think that some of the crew chiefs and things play the track position game too much, and then it puts the drivers on defense.
Yeah.
And your only option is to try to keep them behind you with blocks and do things that are just outside of the capability of the car.
I think that's one thing about this car too, is like before we knew the tire situation, like how the tire fall off was pretty, like we knew. We've been working with this forever. Now we're in a situation with this generation of car, the evolution of the tire that Goodyear has been giving us and getting better all the time, but it's hard to know how much new tires is going to be worth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're still learning that as the years click off. So, you'll see more of that, I'm sure.
So it was an eventful race in Atlanta. It was an eventful news cycle leading up to the race as well. Here you go, guys. Joe Gibbs Racing has filed a federal lawsuit against former competition director Christopher Gabehart, accusing him of stealing confidential team information before departing the organization and accepting a leadership role with Spire Motorsports. So Gabehart has denied these allegations as well, saying they are frivolous and retaliatory claims. So I did speak with some competition directors on the Cup side this weekend in the garage area, and they were explaining to me there's obviously a racer's etiquette when you leave a team and go somewhere else. Anything you retain in your mind, because of course you're going to remember plenty of things that teams do.
Right.
But any data you're actually copying or reproducing or disseminating officially, big no-no.
Yeah.
Is that the understanding?
Well, yeah, I would agree with that. But I think it's this whole cat and mouse game here is pretty interesting because it's been pretty quiet on the Gabehart front as to what was happening at Spire. Then the lawsuit comes out. Then you see the Spire announcement come out. What do they call him? The chief motorsports officer. It's kind of confusing as CMO, but that's a different conversation. And then you see, so we had the Spire announcement and then the Gabehart tweet or X
Statement.
Yeah.
So I just thought all that was interesting. I would have thought that you didn't want to say anything, but I guess in that type of situation, I guess I can see the Gabehart response, but it was interesting to see the Spire group kind of double down with their announcement as, he's coming to work here and here's his position and all that. So this is more drama.
They are not scared. Like, you know what I mean? They double down. Like, they double down with their drivers when they're aggressive. Yeah. And they're going to double down with their people. And it's a very interesting situation. I feel like once Gabehart said what he said, right? His statement, it's like, oh, no, he's going to fight this thing for sure, right? So that's the interesting piece because the allegations are pretty heavy. Hefty. They're pretty, like, those are serious things to say.
I think it's an $8 million price tag.
$8 million.
It's real money. Like, you can go cup racing for some people.
And now we know what Gabehart makes as well, by the way.
Yeah, now we know. Yeah, now it's going to change. That's the other thing, Kaitlyn, is like it's going to change. Everyone knows what some people are making now at a high level. So now they're looking at their contracts. It's like, hey,
wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask for a little increase here.
We're getting up there. So like this is the interesting thing. So now we're on a second lawsuit and
not quite the magnitude of the NASCAR Jordan lawsuit, but
different.
Still, it's different. Yeah, it's different. But I feel like it's going to set the tone for the expectations of when people leave teams and just the amount of how this plays out and how much pressure that it puts on crew chiefs, competition directors of wanting to make a change, or how teams operate with how they protect their information. Bottom line is they spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on all the information that they gather as a team, and so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out in the court of law.
We're making really quick leaps from like mid 2000 stuff to like 2025 stuff. You know what I mean? Like how you have conversations with people in the garage and people share information and what you're doing over here.
Yeah.
Like all those things happen. But now at this day and age, they really can't happen anymore because the IPs.
Well, there's an ethics part of it, I think, as well, of how you approach it. And this isn't the first time Joe Gibbs Racing has dealt with this, because they just went through it with Jeff Curtis, one of the engineers who was looking to leave the team and had been sharing information with
Where did he go?
RCR.
We thought it was RCR.
Yeah, so
it's interesting that it's them that it's happened to twice. That's also interesting.
And so what do you think it means for Gabehart? I mean, how do you think the garage views that?
Well, I think the interesting part is what it looks like for Spire, right? Like, can he start? Has he started? Is he going to start? What do we do? So you make this big hire, and now it puts you in a position of trying to understand exactly what he can and can't do, or is he doing, not doing. So, I mean, with a legal dispute like this of the magnitude that it has become, it's interesting to see, what he can do and how public he can be with Spire Motorsports, because they've announced it. Right?
Yeah. They went ahead and announced it. Yeah.
Is he gonna show up on pit road and on pit boxes and things with the team now, or does he have to stay away until this is over?
Is he like allowed to do stuff until the lawsuit goes through, yay or nay? And
once again, here's the distraction piece too that it presents to both organizations, which we talked about last year.
It doesn't look like it's hurt Spire so far.
They seem pretty proud of it.
They're proud of this. It'll be interesting to follow this. I'm sure we'll have to bring Bob in at some point for all his legal mumbo jumbo.
I'm sure.
He's so good at those things to break it all down.
Too much for me in this seat, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, again, a lot happened in Atlanta. 2 super speedway races, essentially first of the schedule. Now we're doing something totally different. We're headed to the road course, Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Obviously, Kevin, you have experience racing there. The first one was a bit dicey with the weather.
Yeah. We learned a lot about rain tires.
That's crazy.
Running a $160 down the back straightaway and you can't see in the spray and hitting a car.
Just hoping we're going to be fine.
Fond memories.
Anything up there? I'm not sure.
Can't see through the monsoon.
Just keep going.
I'm going to count you into the corner. 5, 4, 3, turn right.
That was scary.
I can only imagine.
It was pretty scary when you go down the back straightaway and you can't see and you're looking at the guardrail trying to make sure you're going the right direction down the straightaway. That was your reference. You had to use the guardrail because you couldn't see in front of you.
I don't know what the forecast looks like this weekend, but let's hope that it is not something similar to that.
Yeah, I hadn't looked either.
When it's dry in normal conditions, what are the keys of that place? It's a tough track.
A beautiful facility. We changed the track last year to shorten the lap time. So we took a big section of, over there off of 10, 11, 9, 10, 11, somewhere in that section of the racetrack. And we take the little cut through now. But, the curiosity for me is, can SVG win at COTA? He hasn't won at COTA. Is that a trend because of the style of racing that the racetrack is and his style that goes with the car? Can Connor Zilich keep up with his teammate? Are we going to see that first battle? We've seen Connor drive there and do the things that he's done there, or is he still trying to figure out the Cup car? And has anybody else made any ground to keep up with SVG? I mean, that's really the story of the road race.
I interrupt this program to say that Tyler, our producer, just informed me it will be 80 and sunny this weekend.
Oh,
so
80 and sunny.
We can
Beautiful.
temper all those fears.
I'm going to bring my shorts and tank tops.
There you go. Cutoffs.
I'm gonna bring my vest because it's we're cowboy country.
Are you going?
So yeah.
He's going for Ram.
I'll be out there on the display for Ram.
I will not though.
Listen,
so you guys have to hold down the fort for me.
Listen, brother, we be burning it down. So if you can't do an interview, just come over and tell me.
Is there any way I can get a schedule of those things? Because we've been outside doing some interviews and then they start those burnouts and then the next thing you know, they just go and go and go and go and go. Is it on the little platform?
No, it's ratchet strapped down to the ground.
We just sit there and burn the tires off.
Burn it right off. Burn those Goodyear Eagles right to the
Who's in charge of driving it?
Driving it is my guy named Chase Crawford.
Okay.
Who's in charge
Chase
of
Crawford.
getting it going is, This guy.
What do you
No,
mean
fun.
getting it going?
I mean, I'm like, you know, I
Hyping
get the
up
people,
everybody to
get
get
Oh,
it
you're the
done.
hype guy.
Yeah,
So
I'm
We know he's a hype
you're
man.
Ram hype.
I'm big
Ram hype.
timer.
Yeah,
Big
head of Ram
guy.
hype.
Chief Ram hype.
Chief Ram hyper.
Chief Ram hype.
Yeah, that's me.
You're
Love
the
that.
CRH.
RAM, baby.
Yes. Well,
All
that's
right.
not right. Chief
CRHRAM.
Ram hype. C.
Don't hurt yourself, Kev.
Yeah.
Kevin's
Chief
had a
Ram
lot
hype.
of thoughts in his brain today. He brings up a good point, though. This will be really fun to watch the battle with SVG and Connor Zillage now under the same roof, the first road course of the year. I'm excited to watch those two of who can get the bragging rights.
Yeah, you guys are talking about those two, but I'm thinking about someone who really needs it.
Who's
Ty
that?
Gibbs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But
So
he's good there.
He's been really good at the road courses. And I know there's a lot of fans that did not want to talk about points.
you have
one
to.
or two, but I'm sorry. They're almost kind of more important than just winning race. Like it's what you wanted. So
Have you
this is
guys
where we're
looked at them?
Yeah.
They're pretty interesting right now.
So 16th right now is SVG. SVG is 80 points out of the lead. Denny Hamlin is 27th, 93 points out. Seabell in the 20 group is 100 points out, 31st. Bowman is 107 points out,
Two bad
32nd.
races in a row for them.
Gibbs is 108 points out. So the question I have, and I was asking some guys on pit road, how many mulligans do you think you're going to be able to get? Because it's different when you get them at the beginning of the year versus middle of the year. Like how many?
Okay, so hold on. So the mulligans are one thing. I think that like Briscoe went from the trunk to 15th, right? 15th or 16th. Okay. That's great, but you're not winning the championship unless you're in the top 6, maybe 5. So you can get some mulligans and get yourself back into the playoffs.
Yeah.
But
Into the chase.
if you get too far behind and just make the chase, you're not winning the championship. So think about that. Like being 11th in the points and being in the chase, that's great, but you're not winning a championship. So those top 5 or 6 guys get too far away, it's over. Like you're not contending to win the championship if you're past 6th place.
You can only make these massive leaps at the beginning of the year when the points are still close.
Yes.
Once we get to the middle of the year, around, say, the in-season challenge time, I believe that if you're outside of 20, you're not even thinking about going into the chase because I don't think you're going to be able to make it. And I think the landscape is going to be very interesting and how hard people are racing and what they're racing for. Because now you can't just get in by winning. Like you can't just Hail Mary it and get in. Now if you Hail Mary it and ruin someone else's day, there's no real reward for you for doing that.
Not at all.
So now what are we going to do?
Yeah.
So it's going to be very
And I'm
interesting.
ringing the bell on the 48. Like all 3 of his teammates have been in contention at some point in those other 2 races, and he has been non-existent.
Him and honestly, Denny not being great on road courses. I mean, I believe he'll win like 3 or 4 races this year.
Yeah.
But you just don't want to. To your point, if he's beyond 6th or 7th, the championship
It's over.
not going to happen, bud.
And and we have the other question too with Brad Keselowski. Is he even going to race this weekend?
That's
Joey
right.
Hand's
He's
going to
gonna
be
try.
on. He's going to be on hand to.
That's a good point.
to drive the car. But we already know Brad is not good on the road courses. So why not
Right.
just get out and let your leg heal and just put Joey Hand in
Not
there? You're
risk it.
probably going to finish better anyway.
Probably.
So
Yeah, so those are some of the teams you're concerned about. Besides the obvious of the SVGs of the world, who else do you think has a legitimate shot at a victory?
Well, I mean, you have to look at. I think Ty Gibbs is great to bring into this conversation with where he's been on the road course stuff. Christopher Bell won there last year. Tyler Reddick has won there. So I think you have
Ross
to take.
Chastain.
I mean, Chastain has won there. I think Kyle Busch will be
I was about to
okay
say
here.
Kyle Busch has been good.
This has been a pretty good track for him. So I think you have to bring some of those guys into the conversation based off of past history.
Yeah, William Byron is another one he's been going to
Yes.
So
Okay, we'll have to see how it all unfolds. You two have fun out there in Austin, Texas. Don't cause too much trouble.
We'll get
out
you
the
some boots.
line dancing bars.
Yeah.
Listen, the line
Spin a
dancing
lady
bars,
around.
I do be loving some Austin nightlife. Kev,
Well, we know.
And at the Ram display, Kevin, there is a Ram that we call it Conquer the Hemi. And it's
Yeah.
a Ram, and you can ride it, and we'll give you a free T-shirt. I think you should come on out.
Is it
Wow,
like
what an
Is it like
incentive.
a
bull, like a-
bucking
A
bull?
free
Yeah.
T-shirt.
So it's like a mechanical bull?
Yeah,
I would love to come out there and run the bull with you riding it.
I'm in. Deal.
That's a good idea.
I'm
and we
in.
need to send the cameras
Perfect.
if
I'm in.
that happens.
What
okay.
day?
What day?
Well-
Whatever day your schedule opens
I'll
up.
figure it
Saturday.
out.
I know you will. That's why I said it like that.
Yes. Yes.
Tyler
not
says
scared.
he fears
I'll
for your
start you
life.
off slow.
Yeah, I'm sure you
start
will.
out- I'm not volunteering for the bull riding, so that's all you, my friend.
I got it.
And
I'll
so
hold
is
it down.
this next segment. The sips are up.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I hope these are better than last week.
as the closers tell me every week, welcome to your favorite part of the show, Mamba's Social Sips. And we're actually gonna start it off kind of where we started the show.
Yes.
We got a little video that I'm gonna run for you. Tyler, run the clip.
What driver is most likely to cause a wreck? Carson Hocevar. Well, just get the out of the way. And there wouldn't be a wreck. You know what I mean?
Well,
He said,
unanimous.
Listen, that's it. Just get out of the way.
And
you know?
I just love the fact that he just owns it. Right?
does.
Don't apologize for it. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, I did the same thing. You get wrecked. You're going to get wrecked every once in a while by people, and you just kind of brush that off. But he doesn't care, and I think that's what makes it great is the fact that he doesn't care and he just owns it, and he's aggressive and he's going to win.
He is definitely going to win this year.
He's going to
I
win
think.
because of it, and he's going to have some DNFs because of it.
I can appreciate that gumption that he has, though, you know?
I appreciate the fact that he just owns it and doesn't care.
Look, man, there's
He's
a
not
lot,
there to make friends.
No, and he tells you that.
there's a lot of people that are starting to become more and more Carson Hocevar fans.
He has a lot of fans, I noticed that.
That video that he posted, that one, I think it went for like 32,000 views. Like he is crushing it on the racetrack, off the racetrack, and
He's pretty smart with his
their team gets it
branding
done.
and things
Yeah.
like that,
Their
I've
team gets it
noticed.
done.
Yeah.
Pay attention to that boy. He's gonna be making moves. Guys, this one's tough.
This is what we talked about at the top.
yeah, this is what we talked about at the top. I feel for this guy. So last week, Daytona 500 day, Justin Drake Carroll
Acting a
Won
fool.
money.
Acting a fool.
Puts on
Acting
a bet.
a fool.
Look, he's excited.
Tyler
Look at
Reddick.
that.
There we
Tyler
go.
Reddick won
Plus $4,000.
$2,000. Oh my
That
gosh.
is a brutal
This
injury.
right here, this up. The dog's like, no, Dad. No.
It might have been the dog's
What
fault.
do you think? I mean, do you think that the profit covered the hospital bill?
No.
Oof.
Not
Better have
his ankle-
insurance.
Kevin, his ankle touched earth.
Oh my gosh.
It was completely
It
bent.
was 40. It was a 90 or 90
And
degree
here
angle.
he is with a makeshift
So
his
walker.
Amazon stool.
Yeah. So actually, Tyler has one like
Tyler
this.
has, and he has attested it is worthless.
Said he
basically.
never would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all he does all day is sit on that stool. I mean, in the
He said he
studio.
can't handle the weight.
Here this guy's having to back it up backwards to get up.
Back it up, son. Back it up backwards. Back it up, Jake.
Here's his X-ray. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't end. This poor man.
No, I feel bad for him, but he tagged me in this, and I was like, oh, I absolutely got
I
it.
love the
mean-
fact that he hurt himself and then sent you the video.
It's almost like America's
That's awesome.
Funniest Videos. People
Yeah.
know to just
hey,
send
put
them
this
to
on there.
you.
Look at me acting like an
Oh
idiot.
my goodness.
Yes.
Unreal. So I feel bad
We're
for him.
thinking about you though, buddy. Hope you have a quick
Yeah.
heal.
If you got any more videos, send them too.
Yeah, if you have any other
You
things,
You
of
seem
breaking
accident prone, so
stuff.
send some more.
Y'all, mailbag. The mailbag is in the house. This one is from Darren Kent. After
Darren
the
Kent.
500, Denny Hamlin talked about getting NASCAR back to its identity. With the new Hell Yeah promos and old school branding, do you think the sport is heading back in the right direction? And I'm going to even double up on this and be like, with Fox, what we're doing here at Fox, bringing back the speed logo with what you guys got going on, I feel like that's 1,000% what we're doing.
What's old is new again. Speed is back. We've got the Hell Yeah branding back. We're going to just be ourselves and promote the hell out of that. And I think that is great. And I think when you see I think it's caught a lot of us off guard, the enthusiasm for our sport when we went to the Daytona 500 and the TV ratings and just the feel in the garage and everybody just like, all right, we just get to be who we are. We're just going to go out, put on a good show, promote ourselves like we're NASCAR racing. And I like that. I think that's it. You know, I think the only thing that could be better is if we had 1,000 horsepower.
There you go. There's always still work to be done. But I think the fans feel like they've been heard. You know, we're going back to the same point style format. We're embracing kind of the race fan, blue collar America a little bit again as well. And I think it's paying dividends. That was a huge number for the 500 for the viewership. We talked last week about how the stands and the whole venue was packed the whole week. So
Yes.
positive things. Yes,
Atlanta was
Darren
packed.
Kent. We agree. We
Hello?
think it's going
Oh.
back.
Okay. Yeah. All right, guys, I got breaking news right now from Bob Progress.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Toyota Racing Development has signed Kaitlyn Harvick a long-term development deal.
What is going on?
Let's go.
Oh, that's funny.
That was funny. I thought something bad was
You gotta
happening.
tell
Your
us
face
when you're
got
gonna do
so
that stuff.
serious.
No, I don't. That's what the whole point of it. You're
Oh, that's
welcome. I'm a good
fantastic.
actor. I'm a good.
That was an
yeah,
Oscar-worthy performance.
No, we had to add this in. Super stoked for Kaitlyn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Going over to the Toyota Development Program, as we've talked about on the show a gazillion times. If you're gonna develop your kid, they do it the best, or any driver really. So they do it the best. So congratulations, Kev.
Yeah. Well, he's done a good job. He's got a lot of work ahead of him, and I think that, you know, for where he is and what's going on with the Toyota group and the things that they do, I think it's a great place to, like you say, develop your kid. And we're excited. We're excited for Kaitlyn and Toyota to watch their growth.
We're excited to have another Harvick to cheer for in the sport.
Listen, man, I've been cheering for Piper for a long time. So now I guess I can cheer for Kaitlyn too.
Piper's got an injury. I got a call before we got on the show that they had to help Piper get in the car because she's had a pulled a muscle at PE today.
Okay.
As long as it wasn't like that guy in the
We
video.
got a pulled calf muscle.
We got a pulled calf muscle.
So
We'll have to take care of that. We don't want to turn into Achilles.
Go home,
Tell
take
me.
take a salt bath or something.
Salt bath or something.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, that is the social sips for this week. If you want to leave a voicemail, 805-317-4175. Email harvickhappyhour4@gmail.com. Who loves you, baby? Me. That's who.
We all love you, Mamba. Good job there on your sips.
Not
Okay,
bad.
guys,
Hey,
it's
thanks.
time now
That was
for
average.
our
Yeah, okay.
last call. And we have to grade the burnout. And I believe this one will
I
have some
like
high
it.
marks.
I love
What
it.
do we say?
I don't like
Tyler
it.
Reddick.
I love it. This is just average.
It's exciting.
This is just
This
average.
part's average, yeah.
Let's just keep watching.
There's a crescendo.
Yes,
Gets
he's
better.
building up to it, and he knows that we're paying attention and we're looking for style points. And
We
keep
got
going.
them.
Keep going. Hang on.
A lot of smoke.
A lot of
That's
smoke.
good.
Yeah, but this isn't the best part.
Yeah, this was creative, though. The idea behind it.
Yeah, well, I mean, as of right now, we're just an average burnout.
That's kind of a Harvick burnout. That's kind of like your burnout from Atlanta, actually.
Yeah.
A little bit across the start-finish line, down into there.
There we
I
go.
didn't see all this.
Yeah, well,
is-
Oh,
here we
There
go.
we go. This
Okay.
is the part.
Finally, somebody does it in reverse.
For back-to-back wins, I think was the thought process. He
Look at
backed
that.
it
Okay.
up.
Look at this.
Locked up the fronts.
Clear
Amazing.
winner. And then shifts back to first gear at some point here. But that's pretty good smoke for reverse. So
Heck yeah.
I got to believe that after last week when we were kind of like, man, I mean, it's
We
tough.
gave
we
like
kind
a
of gave him like a
a C,
pass.
I
we give him
think,
a
right?
pass, but he
Pretty
made up
much.
for it this
He
week.
definitely made up for it.
Creativity, smoke in reverse. We're definitely an A.
An A. We got our first.
We got an
A of the
A.
We
year.
got an A.
All right. Remember that.
Only
Tyler
because of
Reddick.
the end and the creativity from reverse. Because I don't know that we've seen it in reverse, but never with like real smoke.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
And a good burnout in reverse.
Yeah.
There
And
you
then
go.
shifting it to first. So that was
Okay.
solid.
And the
Atlanta
iconic-
is an A.
And the
Yeah.
iconic words of Chris
You know what the best
Broussard,
part about this is?
I don't love it. I don't like it. I love it. That's what he says every time.
You know
I
what the
love
best
it.
part about
What's the
this
best
is?
part?
I feel like we're running long.
We are.
And I feel like she's a little antsy over here trying to get us to shut up.
When she starts sitting up, that's
Yeah.
how you know.
And so,
We're actually making great time because I just checked my phone slyly when you weren't looking.
well, I felt like you were getting antsy over there.
No, I'm not. But I am moving on to the next thing, which is the standings. And unfortunately, guys, nobody scored any points this past week because I picked Joey Logano, who looked like he was going to do me a solid until the tail end.
And I'm still in
you
second.
were at Austin Dillon, and you picked Kyle Larson. So we
Yeah,
all
it didn't
kind
work out.
of wasn't great. But I still lead the clubhouse with 6 to y'all's
I'm
goose
okay
eggs.
with you winning.
I
And I'm still in second.
listen. You're not in second. You're tied for last.
I'm second. The way
No,
it's
your
typed
name
right
comes
here.
up
The
second.
way it's typed
The way
here.
it's typed right
It's
here,
because
I'm
it's
in second
alphabetical
place.
order.
Well, we all have a chance to redeem ourselves in a few days. So who would like to go first on their COTA selections?
Oh, I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll take SVG.
That's who I was going to take.
Oh, go ahead. You can take SVG too.
I can.
Yeah, sure. Why
It was
not?
between
as
him
long
and-
as he's in last, that's all that matters. I'm happy if you win and he doesn't.
What do you want?
Listen. I really want to go Connor, but I think
I thought about
but
that.
But I've seen that.
You can change your pick.
so far. When he's run the cup races, it just hasn't been as
I don't think it's
instant
going to
quick.
happen just this yet.
Right.
Yeah.
I also want to go RFK car because they have been putting up one of the best fights, but I haven't seen it at COTA. So I'm going to go with a known commodity of what I know. What?
I got
known commodity
RFK.
of what I know.
RFK. Chris Buescher? Ryan Preece, road courses? Did you not remember what they did last year? They had speed.
I'm
They were in
not
the
sure
mix.
about that one.
All right.
Trust me. Look
Anyway.
at it.
What say you?
I'm just going to go with the 20 of Christopher Bell.
Oh, that's good.
I think it's kind of low hanging fruit, but I think that
I mean,
it's either him or Gibbs, honestly.
The
That's what
low
I do.
hanging fruit argument doesn't. You want to win, right? It's like, you know.
Well, you guys just picked SVG, so I guess
I'm just
Yeah.
saying,
I
like
mean-
it's still smart to pick the low hanging fruit because it's a good
obviously,
shot.
because that's what you guys do.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll just have a little bigger lead next
How
week.
many road courses do we have this season?
4, right?
Yeah, you're gonna pick SVG 4 times.
I am.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's
Yes.
what he did last year. Okay, we'll
I'm
have
going to pick him
see.
until he loses.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Because
until he
since COTA
doesn't
last
win
year,
for
he has
us.
not lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
He's
just-
undefeated since COTA.
It's a solid bet.
Yeah.
Thursday, you got a fun little interview coming out with the Hendrick group, Kyle Larson, Mr. H, Jeff
Yeah.
Gordon.
That
Tell us.
was fun to sit those guys down and just the extended interview from what we did on the pre-race show. We give Mr. Hendrick a little crap about his TikTok usage and had fun with Larson's obsession to helmets. So cool interview.
Nice. We look forward to seeing that. Always enjoy hearing from Mr. H. Okay, guys, this has been fun. We're right on time. I'm not rushing us off. Make
right.
sure you subscribe on our new YouTube page, wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on Harvick Happy Pod, and we'll see all of you after COTA.